The Young and the Restless spoilers update for the week of April 14 to 18 reveals that Sharon Newman may have a chance with Nick Newman after all. Plus, Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott will also scheme while Kyle Abbott gets caught off guard, so here's what fans can expect. For starters, Diane will scold Jack for leaving her out of the loop on Alan Laurent actually being Martin Laurent. It'll add to the overall feeling of Diane being an outsider in the Abbott family, but Jack will hope to make his wife feel more included. My and our spoilers say Diane will play a big role in the next phase of Jack and Victor Newman's feud. After Jack and Kyle uncover some Jabot drama connected to Victor's spies, they'll take action with Diane's help. Jack and Diane will have a strategy session, so it won't be long until Diane puts their new plan in motion. It looks like Michael Baldwin will land at the center of that plan, since Diane will approach him and perhaps pump him for information. Diane will try to use her friendship with Michael to Jack's advantage, but Michael usually knows better than to go against Victor. Although Michael's going to land in a tight spot, he may have to stay on Team Victor in the end. Nikki Newman will try to play peacemaker as the Newman-Abbott rivalry gets worse, but Victor will refuse to back down. In fact, Victor will have some new tricks up his sleeve when it comes to targeting the Abbotts. That'll include Billy Abbott, since Victor will have a trap in mind for him. After Lily Winters tries to build some trust with Damian Kane and convince him to open up, she'll run into more hurdles. Damian will put a stipulation on the truth that could frustrate Lily and send her to Amy Lewis for help. As for Audra Charles, she'll do something daring as part of her mission for Victor. Kyle will be caught off guard by whatever Audra has in store, so she may make some predictions about using his attention to her advantage. While Audra works to ruin Kyle and Claire Newman's romance, she'll lie to Nate Hastings and back herself into a corner she may not be able to get out of. Meanwhile, Tracy Abbott and Ashley Abbott will take a New York trip together, so it should be good for Tracy to get away for a while after all the Martin mayhem. Speaking of trips, Nick's London getaway with Sharon, Faith Newman, and Christian Newman will move full speed ahead. Victoria Newman will fish for answers about Nick's feelings for Sharon, and will hint that maybe destiny could bring them back together on this vacation. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of April 14 to 18 will bring plenty of surprising news, so stick with us for updates on all the great stuff ahead. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of April 14 to 18 reveal some bombshells on the horizon. Genoa City can be a revolving door where characters come and go, only to return again. So learn more about some casting news that will take place over the next 5 days by reading below. The Young and the Restless spoilers note that both Tracy Abbott and Ashley Abbott will exit the canvas as the ladies head to New York. In the aftermath of the Big Alan/Martin Laurent reveal, Tracy will need to get out of Genoa City and clear her head. Sad to see these women leave the canvas, but it's likely that fans will see them at some point in the near future. Tracy and Ashley are slated to exit during the April 14 episode. Of course, Abby Newman hasn't really gone anywhere, however, as actress Melissa Ordway was dropped down to recurring status. Her character hasn't exactly been at the forefront of storylines either. Fans will get to see Abby comforting her husband, Devin Hamilton Winters, this week as he deals with more family drama. The Young and the Restless spoilers note that a new face is slated to pop up in the land of Genoa City. Actor Jay Rodriguez will debut as Pietro, a party planner, on the May 28 episode. Pietro will be hired by the Newman family to help organize Nikki Newman's birthday party and participate in this 4-episode arc. As Pietro will enter GC in May, a sweeps month, there's a good chance the proverbial poop will hit the fan at Nikki's birthday bash. So what kind of chaos should fans expect? Only time will tell. What storyline are you most excited to see during the week of April 14 to 18? Join the conversation in the comments section. Catch CBS Soap Daily to see what happens next, and visit this site often for the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks, April 14 to April 25, reveal that Michael Baldwin's loyalty will be tested while Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's romance is at risk. Plus, Audra Charles' rotten lies will make waves, so let's talk about what's ahead in Genoa City. During the week of April 14 to 18, Victoria Newman will have a hunch that Nick Newman and Sharon Newman might be on the verge of a reunion. Although Nick will shut down the idea, there's indeed the potential for him to reconnect with Sharon during their upcoming London trip. As for Phyllis Summers, she'll struggle to move on despite Martin Lawrence's exposure and arrest. Phyllis will throw herself into work, but it'll still take some time to heal from all her trauma. Speaking of healing from trauma, Tracy Abbott will decide to leave town with Ashley Abbott for a bit, so she can process everything and distract herself by writing a new novel. While Tracy and Ashley head to New York, Audra will take the first bold steps in her plot to take down Kyle on Victor's orders. However, Audra will have to deceive Nate Hastings as this scheme heats up, so lying to him could set the stage for some trouble. Lily Winters will also push Damian Kane to admit what he's hiding, but she's not going to like Damian's condition. Despite Lily's best efforts to pry the truth out of Damian, he may continue to keep secrets regarding Aristotle Dumas. Lily will ultimately open up to Amy Lewis about her worries, so we'll see if Amy can help Damian keep the peace with Lily, Nate, and Devin Winters. Over with Victor, he'll try to lure Billy Abbott into a setup. A trap will be waiting for Billy, so stay tuned for updates on his response to it. In the meantime, Kyle and Jack Abbott will make a discovery at Gibbo, one related to the spies Victor planted. Later, Jack will conspire with Diane Jenkins Abbott as they prepare to play defense against Victor. I&R spoilers say Diane will quiz Michael and put him in a tricky situation. Although Diane is Michael's friend, will he really be disloyal to Victor? During the week of April 21 to 25, Claire will give Kyle's suggestion of living together more thought. If Victor finds out Claire might take this huge step with Kyle, that could motivate him to move things along when it comes to his plot with Audra. Victor might pressure Audra to speed up the trap she's setting and expose Kyle's true colors to Claire sooner. Audra will also have to deal with a flirty Holden Novak, so her relationship with Nate could be threatened from multiple angles. Holden might make a prediction about winning Audra back eventually. As for Michael, his job will continue to create complications for his personal life. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin will grow increasingly concerned about the tasks Victor expects Michael to accomplish, so that'll bring some marriage tension. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the next 2 weeks will bring some excitement, so stay tuned for all the stunning news and heated confrontations. In a dramatic turn of events on The Young and the Restless, Diane Jenkins' long-concealed alliances and duplicity have finally unraveled, leading to a stunning reckoning with the Abbott family. Once regarded with caution by Ashley and Tracy Abbott, despite Jack's insistence on unity, Diane's facade has completely collapsed following a series of revelations involving a dangerous figure from the past, Martin. For years, Diane appeared to be a rehabilitated figure, reintegrated into the Abbott household under the pretense of support and affection. However, beneath her seemingly benign demeanor, she maintained an ongoing collaboration with Martin, the very man who previously abducted Ashley and Tracy. This shocking alliance, uncovered through an overheard conversation, revealed Diane not as a victim, but as a complicit partner who had been supplying Martin with sensitive information about the Abbotts. Ashley and Tracy unintentionally intercepted a critical conversation between Diane and Martin, where Diane confirmed her role in providing intelligence to aid Martin's vendetta. The implications were staggering. Diane had been working against the family while maintaining her position within it. The trust Jack extended toward her had been grossly exploited, and the depth of her betrayal was more insidious than anyone had imagined. Though Diane later claimed fear as her primary motive, insisting she was manipulated and coerced by Martin, her involvement appeared far more active than passive. Not only had she withheld crucial information, but she had also contributed to the strategic planning that endangered the Abbotts. Her attempts to sever ties with Martin only began when the consequences of their partnership became unsustainable. Confronted by Ashley and Tracy, Diane was given one last opportunity to confess. What followed was an emotional breakdown. Diane acknowledged her fear-driven decisions and expressed remorse, but the damage was done. Her pleas were met with skepticism as the sisters weighed her words against her months, possibly years, of deception. In a final, desperate move, Diane proposed a chilling solution: eliminating Martin to end the threat once and for all. This proposition, encouraging Ashley and Tracy to consider murder as a resolution, marked a new low in Diane's moral descent. The sisters were appalled and categorically rejected the idea, reinforcing their stance that accountability, not further deceit or violence, was the only path forward. Diane's last attempt to control the narrative failed. With her manipulations exposed and her credibility irreparably damaged, she was left with no choice but to leave Genoa City. Her departure marked the end of a turbulent chapter for the Abbotts. The emotional scars she left behind underscored a hard truth: some betrayals are too profound to forgive. Diane Jenkins' storyline serves as a cautionary tale within the Young and the Restless universe. Her calculated betrayal, cloaked in fear and self-preservation, dismantled the very family she claimed to care for. I&R video preview for April 14 to 18 has Victoria worrying about Nick. The Young and the Restless spoilers preview a dramatic week in Genoa City. One character issues an ultimatum while a long-standing rivalry begins its next chapter. Here's a look at what's ahead for April 14 to 18. Sharon's gone through a tough time in recent months and needs a vacation. She's booked a family trip to London to visit Noah and invited Nick. Although Nick was hesitant, he finally agreed to go on the trip. However, not everyone is happy with his plans. When Nick tells Victoria about the trip, she voices her concerns. Victoria tells Nick that he deserves a break from Sharon and all her drama. Nick has been Sharon's biggest supporter during her recent ordeals, and he'll defend her against Victoria. But that won't be enough to squash Victoria's worries about Sharon and Nick. Elsewhere, Michael and Victor meet at the GTAC to discuss business. However, their meeting is interrupted when Jack comes over to their table. Jack is in a happy mood, something that doesn't go unnoticed by Michael. When the lawyer asks if anything happened, a gloating Jack responds, "Gee, where do I start?" Whatever Jack's news is, it'll infuriate Victor and make him more determined to take down his rival. Later, Lily meets with Damien. Things have been tense between the two because of Damien's secret business partner, Aristotle Dumas. Damien has taken a liking to Lily and doesn't want to risk losing her. Lily gives Damien an ultimatum. If he wants a second chance, he must be honest about everything. Damien agrees to her terms, but on one condition. What does Damien have in store for Lily? And will he tell her everything she wants to know? It's the calm after the storm. For the Monday, April 14 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show the Abbotts and the Newmans sharing some calm and Commodore after Martin's terrible misdeeds. While most women would be a mess after finding out their fiancé is a monster, Tracy is standing in her power. She's not going to let his actions get her down or destroy her life. She even meets with Sharon and Phyllis to talk things through. These women are all victims of Martin's lies and deceit, and it's nice to lean on one another. Later, Tracy will also check in with Jack and Diane. The couple are definitely rattled by what Tracy has gone through. She was looking for love and wound up falling for the wrong twin. Will they offer all the love and support she needs right now from her family? Meanwhile, over at Crimson Lights, Nick has a coffee with Victoria. They have much to catch up on and stories to share. And, of course, a bit of business to tend to. They are Newmans, after all. Later, Nick heads on over to the cottage to see Sharon. Their bags are packed, and they are ready to take flight. A trip to see their son is just what they need to decompress, relax, and escape from the drama and trauma of Genoa City. The drama never stops on CBS Daytime. Next week is going to be non-stop drama on Beyond the Gates, The Bold and the Beautiful, and The Young and the Restless. We have the scoop on what's to come, and we gotta say, we can't wait. Here are some juicy highlights on what to watch this week. Bridget is back. Expect the hot doc to check in next week to help with Liam's care. Things are going sideways for the fan-favorite dad, and his brain is betraying him. Unfortunately, it's not going to be an easy fix. In fact, between Finn, Dr. Buckingham, and Bridget, they can't find a way to save him. Get your popcorn ready, because there's about to be a showdown. Poppy and Sheila get into a food fight over at Il Giardino. Luna's mother and grandmother are about to show each other what they are made of. This isn't the first time Sheila has stepped up to a Nozawa sister. She got in Lee's once and got a spaghetti facial as a result. Will history repeat itself? Break out the cake and candles because it's time to celebrate. Monday is Kat's birthday, and the party will be booming, to say the least. Of course, this is the world of daytime, and no one gets to make a wish without drama. Hidden tensions come bubble to the surface, and things may never be the same. Speaking of tension, you'll see plenty between Dani and Ander. Her off-the-rails antics keep reeling him in. Is he still in love with his ex-wife or just addicted to her chaos? Dani is making dangerous decisions, and Ander's attention is only adding fuel to her fire. Are Vanessa and Joey getting too close for comfort? It seems so. By the end of the week, she may want to start rethinking how much time she's spending with him, because it could start challenging her marriage. A marriage she's fought long and hard to keep. Is this the start of a love triangle? Oh, we sure hope so. Diane's secret-keeping is getting on Jack's nerves again. His wife seems to be keeping a lot to herself these days, and he's calling her out. What is going on here? Is this about business, the house, or something much, much deeper? Will this spell the beginning of the end for Jack and Diane? Watch for Nate and Holden to butt heads. As you can imagine, there are quite a few things about Holden that have Nate on edge. It definitely does not help that Holden entered his life based on a lie and kept up that charade for way too long. As much as Holden tries to present as a trustworthy fella now, his actions speak for themselves, and Nate is a master grudge holder. He never forgets, and Holden is about to learn that all too well. The great Victor Newman's war against the Abbotts is kicking into high gear. Last week, it was Kyle who had a target on his back, and this week it's Billy. Victor is bound and determined to take his daughter's ex down and make sure he stays down this time. Billy better watch his back, because once the mustache gets to scheming, things will spiral into chaos before anyone knows what hit them. The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday sees the truth about Alan finally come out. Tracy wonders how she could have been so fooled while Sharon and Phyllis help bring their kidnapper to justice. At the Genoa City Athletic Club dining room, Tracy confronted Alan in front of her family and Chance. She demanded to know his true identity. Alan insisted he loved her but avoided answering directly when she asked if he was Alan or Martin. Ashley also demanded the truth, and Tracy begged for honesty. Jack joined in, wanting answers. Alan accused Ashley of turning Tracy against him and questioned Tracy's love, calling their relationship real. Jack told Chance to arrest him. Alan continued saying he loved Tracy, claiming Martin had assaulted Ashley. Ashley called him human garbage, and Chance told him he needed to come in for questioning. Tracy demanded answers about why he tormented Sharon and Phyllis. Ellen was surprised, calling it all insanity. Jack warned that the truth would come out and Chance had to restrain him from attacking Alan. Tracy regretted not realizing the truth sooner. Alan said he wasn't a monster and wanted to clear his name. Tracy accused him of manipulating her and breaking her heart, which he denied. Chance led him away. Alone with Ashley and Jack, Tracy blamed herself for putting everyone in danger by letting Alan into their lives. Ashley reminded her that she had never known both twins and couldn't have known. Jack reassured Tracy that none of it was her fault. Tracy felt everything had been too perfect, too fast, and wondered how she missed the truth. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis, Sharon, and Nick discussed the latest developments. Phyllis and Sharon were shaken but determined to see justice served. Sharon reassured Phyllis that they were close to the end. Later, at the station, Chance interrogated Alan, and he still insisted he was not Martin. He claimed the Abbotts had mental health issues and accused them of manipulating Tracy. He denied wrongdoing and tried to defend himself, even as Phyllis and Sharon confronted him. They recited clinic riddles and accused him of experimenting on them. He denied it, saying Martin was dead. Pushed to the edge, Alan finally lost control. He yelled, defending Martin's genius. He claimed Martin had succeeded in curing Ashley in Paris, where he had failed. Sharon asked if he was trying to do the same with her and Phyllis. He replied cryptically, and the women mocked his failed experiment. They began fighting again, pretending to hate each other, but Alan wasn't fooled. Finally, Alan slipped and confessed that he, not Alan, was the one who had helped Ashley and attempted to help Sharon and Phyllis. Chance arrested him. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, April 14 tease that Nick Newman defends his baby mama and first love Sharon Newman. Jack Abbott thinks he's scored a win, and legal eagle Michael Baldwin is in a sticky situation. Nick is on board with Sharon's family time in Paris. They can breathe a little easier with Martin Laurent, is custody for kidnapping Sharon and Phyllis Summers. Now that the drama has leveled off, it's time for Victoria Newman to meddle in Nick's life. Why does he have to go off with Sharon right now? Victoria wants to know. According to her, Nick should take a break from Sharon and her issues. Nick isn't convinced and points out that he has promised Sharon he'll go with her to see their son Noah Newman. Maybe Victoria just needs a date night with Cole Howard. Where has he been anyway? Meanwhile, at the GCHC, Jack crashes Victor and Michael's private convo with his cheery cheerfulness. Jack gloats about a win on his side, and it could refer to the pies Kyle rooted out. Jack provokes Victor. Jack triggers Victor with his boastfulness, and Michael is caught between a rock and a hard place. Will Michael have to clean up another mess as the Newman-Abbott war heats up? Definitely maybe. Peaceful Michael wants everyone to love one another, but Jack and Victor are not ready to sing Kumbaya. He should be thankful that Victor's espionage checks will be steady, but at this point in life all he wants is peace. Explosive The Young and the Restless spoilers tease that Victor has marching orders for Michael in the next phase of battle against Jack. We've already seen Michael's wife Lauren Baldwin upset at his alliance with Victor. Will this latest twist be enough to rock their marriage? Be sure to tune in and find out, and we will keep you updated as more spoilers come to the front burner. The Young and the Restless may be known for its schemers, but Abby Newman has mostly stayed on the light side. However, that could all change if Melissa Ordway had her way. The actress recently sparked fan buzz by revealing her dream role, and it's far from Abby's usual polished persona. In a candid view and a session on her Instagram stories, Melissa shared that she'd love to play a villain on the show. When a fan asked which character she'd choose if given the chance, she quickly replied, "Phyllis would be so fun to play," before adding that no one could play her better than Michelle Stafford. That didn't stop fans from imagining what a twisted Abby might look like. Melissa's comment wasn't just a fun aside. It opened the door to a fantasy storyline that could shake up The Young and the Restless. Abby has had her fair share of drama and even dipped into mischievous behavior in the past. But a full-blown dark turn, that would be next level. Let's not forget Abby's fiery rivalry with Phyllis. These two women have battled over the Grand Phoenix and even over Chance Chancellor. Though Phyllis ultimately regained control of the hotel, the tension between them never fully died down. The spark is still there, and it's dangerous. When Chance returned to Genoa City in 2019, both Abby and Phyllis were drawn to him. He chose Abby, but not without some serious drama along the way. The competition left a mark, and even after the rivalry cooled off, their occasional barbs in public kept fans entertained. Now imagine Abby coming back not to make peace, but to stir up trouble. What if she's been wronged, manipulated, or betrayed? What if she's finally done playing nice? Turning Abby into a cunning, sharp-edged villain would add fresh layers to her character and open up endless story possibilities. Melissa's performances have already proven she can handle emotional scenes, romantic arcs, and family drama. A villain arc would give her the chance to explore new territory and show off her range. Fans have already responded with excitement online, saying they'd love to see this version of Abby take over Genoa City. So far, there's no official word about this twist becoming reality, but the buzz is undeniable. If the writers ever wanted to shake up the Newman family and spark new rivalries, this would be the way to go. Abby could easily rise as a powerful force, one that no one sees coming. The Young and the Restless thrives on reinvention, and Abby's villain turn might just be what keeps viewers glued to their screens. In a dramatic turn of events on The Young and the Restless, Diane Jenkins' long-concealed alliances and duplicity have finally unraveled, leading to a stunning reckoning with the Abbott family. Once regarded with caution by Ashley and Tracy Abbott, despite Jack's insistence on unity, Diane's facade has completely collapsed following a series of revelations involving a dangerous figure from the past, Martin. For years, Diane appeared to be a rehabilitated figure, reintegrated into the Abbott household under the pretense of support and affection. However, beneath her seemingly benign demeanor, she maintained an ongoing collaboration with Martin, the very man who previously abducted Ashley and Tracy. This shocking alliance, uncovered through an overheard conversation, revealed Diane not as a victim, but as a complicit partner who had been supplying Martin with sensitive information about the Abbotts. Ashley and Tracy unintentionally intercepted a critical conversation between Diane and Martin, where Diane confirmed her role in providing intelligence to aid Martin's vendetta. The implications were staggering. Diane had been working against the family while maintaining her position within it. The trust Jack extended toward her had been grossly exploited, and the depth of her betrayal was more insidious than anyone had imagined. Though Diane later claimed fear as her primary motive, insisting she was manipulated and coerced by Martin, her involvement appeared far more active than passive. Not only had she withheld crucial information, but she had also contributed to the strategic planning that endangered the Abbotts. Her attempts to sever ties with Martin only began when the consequences of their partnership became unsustainable. Confronted by Ashley and Tracy, Diane was given one last opportunity to confess. What followed was an emotional breakdown. Diane acknowledged her fear-driven decisions and expressed remorse, but the damage was done. Her pleas were met with skepticism as the sisters weighed her words against her months, possibly years of deception. In a final, desperate move, Diane proposed a chilling solution, eliminating Martin to end the threat once and for all. This proposition, encouraging Ashley and Tracy to consider murder as a resolution, marked a new low in Diane's moral descent. The sisters were appalled and categorically rejected the idea, reinforcing their stance that accountability, not further deceit or violence, was the only path forward. Diane's last attempt to control the narrative failed. With her manipulations exposed and her credibility irreparably damaged, she was left with no choice but to leave Genoa City. Her departure marked the end of a turbulent chapter for the Abbotts. The emotional scars she left behind underscored a hard truth: some betrayals are too profound to forgive. Diane Jenkins' storyline serves as a cautionary tale within the Young and the Restless universe. Her calculated betrayal, cloaked in fear and self-preservation, dismantled the very family she claimed to care for. As she exits the scene, the Abbott family moves forward, wounded but resolute, having reclaimed control from a figure who had long operated in the shadows. Billy Flynn's debut on The Young and the Restless marks a pivotal turning point for the Genoa City narrative landscape. As the previously unknown son of Martin Abbott, a long-established patriarch in the Abbott dynasty, Flynn's arrival introduces immediate consequences for family dynamics, corporate stability, and romantic entanglements. Billy Flynn enters Genoa City not as a wanderer, but as a strategic actor. Armed with a finance degree from London and a sharpened instinct for corporate warfare, his mission is twofold: claim his place within the Abbott family and assert authority in the boardroom. Martin Abbott, a symbol of caution and control, is now forced to grapple with an unexpected heir whose worldview disrupts his traditional corporate philosophy. Flynn's intent to secure a board seat is not merely emotional. It's rooted in an ambition to modernize Abbott Enterprises. His disruptive proposals include direct-to-consumer strategies, influencer partnerships, and aggressive acquisition tactics that conflict directly with Martin's incremental growth model. The ideological clash is immediate, escalating in private boardroom sessions and strategic discussions, signaling an internal crisis that could fracture the organization. Martin's long-concealed past resurfaces with Flynn's appearance, threatening the tightly held secrecy that has shielded the Abbott legacy. His discomfort is compounded by external forces, most notably Victor Newman, who capitalizes on internal Abbott conflict. Victor's tactics include orchestrated leaks, investor manipulation, and targeted outreach designed to sow distrust between the Abbotts and their allies. Amid this, Martin consults Dr. Evelyn Hartman, a trusted advisor from his early days, to facilitate reconciliation. Evelyn's integration into strategic and therapeutic roles positions her as a neutral architect of trust. She crafts a pathway for father-son dialogue through structured exercises and legacy-based retreats aimed at bridging emotional and operational divides. Beyond the boardroom, Billy Flynn's arrival exerts a destabilizing effect on Genoa City's social ecosystem. His presence immediately disrupts the romantic landscape, drawing interest from key figures including Sally Spectra, Phyllis Summers, Sharon Newman, Victoria Newman, Claire Grace, and Summer Newman. Each connection is uniquely volatile, positioned at the intersection of personal history, emotional vulnerability, and potential betrayal. Sally Spectra's arc is particularly complex. Once defined by manipulation and ambition, her transformation following the loss of her child has led her to a quieter, purpose-driven life. Her emotional bond with Billy Abbott offers stability until Flynn arrives. His interest in her creative work and emotional depth reawakens her desire for passion, complicating her existing relationships and reigniting internal conflict. In an unexpected development, Sally initiates a collaborative project between Spectra Designs and Abbott Enterprises. This charitable fashion initiative, aimed at supporting mental health programs, brings Martin and Billy into a shared space. Strategically, the project merges Martin's desire for legacy preservation with Billy's appetite for innovation. Their divergent approaches converge under Sally's creative leadership, offering a rare moment of alignment. However, the venture draws scrutiny from Victor Newman, who dispatches strategist Chloe Mitchell to dismantle the partnership. Misinformation campaigns, internal sabotage, and financial manipulation are deployed to destabilize the collaboration, underscoring the broader war being waged for control over Genoa City's corporate and social spheres. Adding a real-world dimension to the storyline, Billy Flynn's transition from Days of Our Lives to The Young and the Restless is generating substantial attention. His previous portrayal of a conflicted hero resonates with longtime soap fans, and his new role builds upon that legacy. The showrunners leverage his established persona, blending nostalgic appeal with fresh dramatic stakes. As Genoa City faces this multifaceted disruption, the stakes have never been higher. The evolving relationship between Martin and Billy will determine the fate of the Abbott legacy. Meanwhile, Sally's role as a mediator and visionary continues to shape the emotional and strategic future of both families. Victor Newman's countermeasures threaten to derail any progress, but Evelyn Hartman's steady influence and the unlikely alliances forming around the Spectra Abbott initiative may yet yield a new power equilibrium. What remains certain is that Billy Flynn's arrival has reshaped the trajectory of Genoa City, introducing not just a new character, but a catalyst for transformation. In a stunning narrative development on The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman once again proves himself a master manipulator as he unearths a deeply buried secret that could redefine the balance of power in Genoa City. Behind his latest orchestration lies a personal revelation with sweeping implications. Audra is his daughter, born from a long-concealed affair. Victor's strategy to destabilize the burgeoning romance between Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace may seem ruthless, but it's driven by more than just control. He perceives their relationship as a destabilizing force threatening the intricate equilibrium he has spent decades constructing. To counteract this, he enlists Audra, not merely as a corporate ally, but as a covert operative, unaware that she is, in fact, his daughter. The revelation of Audra's paternity stems from Victor's suspicions triggered by her uncanny resemblance to a woman from his past, a woman he once loved, whose life was marked by tragedy. Discreet DNA testing confirmed his instincts. Audra is his illegitimate child. This truth rekindles in Victor a complex mix of guilt, affection, and a compulsion to control her fate. Rather than immediately exposing the truth, Victor integrates Audra deeper into his strategic framework. Believing her to possess the intellect, emotional insight, and charm inherited from both parents, he positions her as the ideal figure to dismantle Kyle and Claire's relationship from within, shielding himself from public scrutiny while ensuring his influence remains intact. Audra, raised by a protective mother and unaware of her father's identity, has grown into a poised, intelligent woman marked by resilience and emotional depth. As Victor subtly grooms her to align with his broader objectives, she remains unaware of the personal history that binds them. Their private interactions become increasingly charged with unspoken truths as Victor edges toward full disclosure. Victor's confession, when it finally comes, is laden with emotional complexity. He frames the revelation not only as an explanation of lineage, but as a call to action, urging Audra to leverage her inherited talents to safeguard the Newman legacy. Her response is conflicted. While part of her yearns for belonging, another part resists being a pawn in his strategic games. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman faces her own emotional upheaval. Still reeling from Victor's previous bombshell regarding Adam, she views the emergence of another child as a betrayal too far. Her ultimatum, divorce if the truth about Audra is made public, adds another layer of urgency to Victor's already delicate balancing act. Behind the walls of Newman Enterprises, tensions rise. Rumors of a hidden daughter ripple through the corporate corridors, and Victor's inner circle begins to sense the magnitude of what's to come. As he tries to stage Audra's gradual integration into the Newman family, he must also manage the fallout that could fracture existing loyalties and reshape power structures across Genoa City. This storyline is not just about familial revelations. It's a broader commentary on legacy, power, and emotional inheritance. Audra stands at the crossroads of identity and manipulation, torn between the opportunity to embrace her lineage and the risk of being consumed by it. As events unfold, the show teases a potential reckoning. Will Victor's calculated disclosure unite or divide the Newman dynasty? Will Audra accept her place in a family rooted in deception and ambition, or carve her own path? The narrative arc surrounding Audra's parentage and Victor's motivations underscores the young and the restless enduring themes. The interplay of personal secrets and public consequences, the volatility of power, and the price of truth. In The Young and the Restless, the intricate dynamics of betrayal, manipulation, and power take center stage as Kyle Abbott becomes the latest victim of Victor Newman's calculated schemes. At the core of this narrative lies a web spun by Audra Charles, strategically orchestrated under Victor's direction to dismantle Kyle's relationship with Claire. What begins as an act of deception gradually evolves into a high-stakes psychological battle with far-reaching consequences. Victor Newman, the seasoned corporate tactician, deploys Audra as a covert operative in a ploy designed to fracture Kyle's emotional stability and dissolve his relationship with Claire. While the plan promises Audra career advancement and increased influence, she sees beyond the role of a mere pawn. She engages in a layered manipulation strategy, leveraging emotional ambiguity and perceived infidelity rather than direct seduction to dismantle trust between Kyle and Claire. Audra's scheme is built on perception. She aims to blur emotional lines without overt transgression, creating doubt and confusion that undermine the relationship from within. Her affiliation with Nate Hastings adds another layer of complexity, serving as both a shield and a misdirection as she executes Victor's plan. As the deception deepens, the emotional toll on Kyle becomes evident. Initially skeptical, Kyle begins to sense inconsistencies and misalignments in Audra's behavior. When the full extent of the manipulation is revealed, the impact is profound. His relationship with Claire, one of the few stable elements in his life, is shattered, not merely by external interference, but by the betrayal of trust. Kyle's response is swift and uncompromising. Fueled by anger and a sense of betrayal, he vows retaliation. His retribution is not impulsive but calculated. He targets the core of Audra's fabricated alliances, beginning with her connection to Nate. By exposing her duplicity, Kyle aims to dismantle the personal and professional foundation she has built. Kyle's strategy extends beyond emotional confrontation. He initiates a broader counteroffensive, disrupting the business arrangements Victor established for Audra and casting public light on the manipulation. By attacking their credibility, Kyle transforms personal betrayal into professional consequences. Victor, often insulated by his power and reach, finds himself challenged in an unanticipated way. Kyle begins to build alliances, aiming to erode Victor's influence not only in personal relationships, but across the corporate and social ecosystem of Genoa City. Claire, caught in the emotional crossfire, faces her own reckoning. Her faith in Kyle has been compromised by Audra's well-crafted illusion of betrayal. As Kyle works to expose the truth, he must also confront his own guilt for missing the signs earlier. Rebuilding trust proves more complex than dismantling deception, and the outcome of their relationship remains uncertain. Audra, once confident in her ability to control outcomes, quickly loses grip on the narrative. Kyle's unrelenting pursuit of justice disrupts her standing, while her failed manipulation strains her alliances. What began as a tactical move for power spirals into a personal war with no clear victor. The emotional and reputational damages inflicted on all parties signify the irreversible costs of betrayal. Ultimately, this storyline underscores the fragile nature of loyalty and the long-term ramifications of deception. Kyle's transformation, from a betrayed partner to a strategic avenger, marks a significant shift in the series' power dynamics. As he navigates the emotional wreckage, The broader implications of his actions suggest lasting consequences not only for Victor and Audra, but for the entire Genoa City landscape.